Okay. Hi. Did I just do like a millennial start? I've been hearing a lot of millennial starts, and I was like, I'm in that very like in between of millennial Gen Z kind of style, so I know what it's like. But hi. It's been a while. Such a such a weird intro. Okay, sorry. I haven't done this in a while. It has been quite of a long journey. I would say I moved to a new place, and I'm also about to move out again into a new place. Destination TBD, to be determined. I have no clue. I'm still clueless. But I usually try to at least upload a dance video or something every day since last July, and it's been kind of a little bit of a downhill lately for me. My body is just not keeping up the way I thought. And I mean, well, duh, because I literally haven't moved that much. But here I am. I usually live with my roommates, but I live right now by myself. Um, right now, like just for today. And I was like, to take this time, I was like, maybe I should go to the living room and dance. And my body just couldn't move. It was trying its best, and I just have these aches and striking pain of like lightning pain in my back, and it just won't move the way I envision myself to. And I took a pause and I was like, instead of forcing this time, what does my body really need? And I realized today's our first new moon of 2023, of I guess the year of 2023. It's not the new year yet for when you go by lunar calendar, but maybe it is. It's about to be, right? But we're also in Aquarius season. And I do have a lot of Aquarius in my chart, not in my big three, but and it's one of my closest signs to me in a way. And but when I was asking my body what it needs, it was asking to reflect. I was like, your body is asking. It might be also because I just started my period as well, but I have more active days of period and I have very mellow days. And today has been just very mellow. Not just my lower half, but my upper half has been hurting. And so it was like body, 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 yada, 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 yada. A lot of body was coming out, and I was like, oh my gosh, today's theme I should talk about is body. And I was like, what is a way to reflect? And I was in a little bit of a talking mood, and I talk to myself a lot on a daily basis. And um, I was like, why not I just record it and upload it again like I used to? And so here I am. That was probably the long introduction ever. So I'm just here. I'm alive, and I'm very grateful of where I am. And as we're reflecting, I just want to make sure to log this because for my own reminder, I am starting to put myself more out there of who I am. And standing that in front of two people, whether that is publicly or in person, of like social media wise publicly or social like in person publicly, you're still putting yourself out there, and it's vulnerability. And I realize you just can't, those things, there's certain things that you have to fake it till you make it, but these kind of pure self of who you are to actually keep going as a marathon and not like a sprint just like that, you have to know what your pace is. And I realize if I don't vocalize this out loud right now, even if I write it down, I might forget to look back on it. Like when I write it down, it's physically and visually. When I talk it out, it's vocally. So I feel the vibration of my voice of speaking upon it, and I hear it myself. And then I get to see it as well. So I realize talking to the cameras, as much as that could sound a little bit like lonely, if my thoughts in some way reach out to you who isn't me, that is just much honored, and this is just reflection time. So I hope you can feel that this is a very safe space and there's no judgment and or criticizing. Even though I do that to myself a lot, and I'm very much so trying to work on that. But anyways, going back to the topic of body yaddies, um, I know this growing up, but recently it has been a huge more of a theme, and it might be because my roommates, they're a couple, and one female, one male, and my friend who's a female has been really guiding the ways of what a female body is, even though everyone's different. But I guess with the female body with like periods, um, since it's not everyone who has periods, but anyone who has periods, and I like identify their body as like more of a female body parts, typical, I guess. Like, um, I'm not sure the medical term of it, which I'm so sorry. Um, but anyone who has periods, like their system, or even if you don't get it monthly or whatever the day cycle is, 28 to 30 day, we reset in that amount of cycle bodies who have a very high testosterone. Doesn't mean you identify as a male. Like, just if you have the male traits of a body type of whatever it is, or you don't get periods, or I think just higher testosterone in my opinion, but um, gets to have that reset every day. So a lot of them have more a boost of energy when they wake up versus like people who have a lower testosterone, it takes a longer to reset. And that's why like our skin fluctuates and our mood fluctuates and our diet, our body, like a lot of guys that are who identify themselves as male and who has told me, like, I think that whatever they do it becomes, meaning like if they eat a certain way it will become exactly that way, whether that is a gain or a loss of weight for them. Their looks or their skin, like when they have this becomes this. It's very like 1 + 1 is 2. On the other hand, like a lot of my friends who identify as like a female body um, has more waves of I ate this the other day and I felt great, and I ate this today and I feel like shit, and it's like the same exact food. Or I felt very happy yesterday and suddenly I'm feeling off. And again, this is such a person to person base, and this is just like my feedback that I've gotten through my friends and also just social media. But majority of my daily life is like a lot of friends that identify as themselves as a female, or who are non-binary who gets periods, or gay men, um, trans men, trans women, like so not very much straight male in my life as much anymore. But even with my straight male, when it had this talk, even straight males who had a lower testosterone um also, spoke up about what the body means for them and what they didn't know about the female body, or what the female body didn't know about the male body. And I think because we're in such a society that it's so still taboo of speaking about what body and body is, like speaking about periods, like I feel like I have to speak or be cautious of anyone who doesn't have periods, to be mindful to them. And it's almost like even with breastfeeding, like it's still a very like a taboo thing. I don't know if it's because of sexual thing or because it's the private area, but it's such a natural thing in our lives that the understanding of it is so simple because our body is just doing what it needs to. And also ever since hearing when I was like high school that I don't know who it's from, but I remember being told that if a female body who has or anyone who has a body who has periods feel a certain pain, like something about period cramps, how that period cramps wouldn't actually as severe if the body itself wasn't in a very stressful condition, meaning like there is islands and tribes that when someone has their period, they let them take off as much as they need to recover and reset, so they don't have to do anything, just focus on breathing or focus on their diet and adjust to it. And the cramp is lessened, which makes sense because we live in such a work hard, play hard. The more you hustle, the more you gain, and like we put in our body so in such stressful situations, like fake it till you make it. These phrases doesn't just come out just because the majority is saying it. Is showing how the majority is how we're put. Right, we're meant to grow our own crops to make food for out of it. We don't even have gravel. Majority, some kids these days now never seen actual pure dirt that isn't human made, and our body's constantly going to evolve and change within the patterns of whatever society we're going to. It's just your body deciding to listen to it or not, or adjust to it or not. And unfortunately, not all bodies can adjust to just like that. We're simple beings, but we're very complicated because of our thoughts and emotions process. And we can simplify it, but it's not just 1 plus 1 is 2. It's times and squares and divide. You can clearly tell I don't know math, but I hope you get what I'm saying of when it comes to like understanding of our complications of our beings, of our bodies, is so wide range because we have so many different factors that I don't think there should be just one answer to fix all, right? If someone gives you, I always have this conversation with everyone when it comes to food. Like, food is such a very experimental thing. You eat it, you test it, you try it, that it works great for you, it doesn't work for you. And that can be always, or that could be a certain period. It could be a really short period, it could be a long period, right? It could be an allergy, that which can involve to allergy. Like you could have had that allergy when you were younger and you grew out of it, so you don't have any more, but now you have a new one. Or you don't have any allergies anymore. Or you never had it as a kid and suddenly you have all these allergies growing. Like now you're supposed to be a grown full adult and now you have all these allergies. And it's asking the why of how you asked a why. And for me, it was always with my eczema, it was so severe. Like anything I ate, any environment I was in, I feel like there was just no answer. And people give me so many different types of methods. You should try this, you should try this, you should try this. And I felt so honored of the kindness, and because, but I also felt, sorry, I also felt pityness, because it's like, oh, poor you, let me help you, let me fix you. And it wasn't always the case. It was just like, oh, it's so obvious to other people that I have this, because strangers will come up to me and say that, and I know it's out of care. And but it wasn't helpful because it's like, hey, I can see that you're struggling, let me help you. Even though I wasn't asking for help, I was just simply working, or I was just simply walking through. If I'm like literally like asking for help, or I'm crying my eyes out in public, I totally understand. But I'm just smiling, going through a day, and suddenly like, hey, I realize your skin, I think this will really help, was kind of damaging in a way. Even though I know that person was such good intention. In Japanese, there's a word called arigata meiwaku, means arigatai means gratitude, thankful, and meiwaku means like a bothersome, I think. I think that's the actual English word for it. So it's like, I'm really thankful of this, but I can't use it. I can't take it because it's taking in the way of my energy. It's how I took it, but I don't know if that's the actual definition of it. Please, you can Google it yourself, or whatever browser you use. But where was I going with this? Yeah, just the flow of our bodies. And man, I am not good at talking like this, so this is why this is practice. But anyways, I guess I'm also trying to practice to talk out loud of where my thought is, because I want people to know, because there's no answer of right or wrong of what. Oh, I guess maybe I talked this before, like food allergy wise, like I think of, depending on what the amount is, it can become poison and it can become medicine. Like, in a broad example, right? Like, nuts oil is very good for me, but one of my really good friends is deadly, like, to nuts. And it's poison to her, it's nutrients for me. But if I have too much of it, I feel sick. For her, she'll have even a hint of it, it would, you know, really mess her up of her basically ecosystem, right? One ecosystem that gets put in one droplet of water could not might be affected, but if you dump it too much, it could overflow. And depending on what your ecosystem is, it can feel that one droplet can feel a lot or feel really small, depending what ratio you are comparing to and what you're providing with. And same as plants, depending on what kind of sun or water or quality air, the growth of the plant would change. It could evolve to adjust and adapt, become a different plant for the environment, or they deplete and they die. With plants, it's different because once they die, that can be recycled into something else, and which I like to believe that with my thought process and with my body as well. So it's, I guess I'm trying to go back to is to also is not being harsh of where my body is, right? No, I'm not going to feel 100% every day because my body is not meant to be that way with the situation I'm in living right now. I think I can be in like a fully 100% mode if I literally was stress-free about all my financial, all my body, or all my relationship when it comes to work, family, friends, like those kind of stress. If that was completely gone, I think I would be 100% reset of energy wise, but would I be satisfied? I don't know. I think that's where the conflict knowledge part of thoughts comes in as like a human being. So I guess that if you're watching this and you feel like you're not doing enough or you feel off, that's completely normal. Like, know that, like, I guess what's normal, but that's completely like a human thing to do. And I hope you know that of when it comes to your thoughts, however you feel, that anger, that frustration, that sadness, or even really happy and really jolly and just feeling like a grape, or you feel powerful, those are all you, because those are all your valid emotions. Even you might have been influenced maybe like a TV show or a movie or someone you really love, they're still a part of you, of who you are. And I have to maintain my body and to keep up to things that I really love to do, but it made me question, is it really stuff I really want to do if I'm really destroying my body? And I was like, wait, no one asked me to destroy my body, to like work really hard to a point that my body taps out. And I always thought I was weak because my eczema or my body would literally flare up if I'm in a stressful mood, but I can point myself in such a stressful situation to a point I can't move my body, that I felt like I was overreacting, which I was, but I know that my body can put myself in that situation of danger zone in the smallest of things, that it can be really harmful. And so I'm trying to be working on, I've been working on actually a lot, and I don't think I panic as more. And I feel more steady with my waves of my emotions more because of how much I give myself time for myself to reflect, and but not just to reflect, but speak upon it. Very much so. Tuck it in the back seat. Don't look back kind of attitude. I don't even know if that's a word, but like I'm just kind of like, okay, like just, or sweep under the rug. I know it's there. I know the dust is there, and when I dust it out, hopefully that it's gone. And it's not. It's still a building process, and I'm also like, I don't want to show a project unless I feel complete. Like, in a way, some people say, like, I feel like I was such a perfectionist so much growing up that I completely went opposite of perfectionist, that I just didn't care anymore because I was so scared to fail. And now I'm just like, I need to enjoy the process of failing. And when I put the need into it, it puts so much stress because I feel like I need to feel this way. I need to feel this way. I need to feel happy. I need to enjoy this. But you know what? It's fucking stressful. It is hard. And recognizing that was a huge step for it. It's hard, it's not easy, but there's people who believe in me. And for me, I realize when there's things I want to do, but I'm stopping myself or I feel like I can't do it, is because my voice is the one who's telling me not to do it, not anyone else. Everyone else is telling me, you can fucking do it. And I am the one who's like, why can't I do it? It's like, we just told you that you can do it. You're the one who's telling yourself you can't. It's because somewhere in that back of your mind, maybe been told years ago, or maybe saw someone happen and applied it to myself. But I let that hold on. That is still my choice. Again, like when you grow up in a very toxic relationship with your family members or anyone, it's hard to unwind that. And luckily my household wasn't a toxic relationship or a toxic household. There is still trauma because no matter, I think it's hard not to think that, I think everyone has some sort of trauma because our generation who raised us wasn't really fully taught to really look into what emotion means for them, that they don't know how to deal with, that they projected us in certain ways that they don't even recognize it. And I absolutely love all of generations. It doesn't matter what age you are, you're valid. But a lot of age groups, even around my age, is not taught how to speak about emotions. It's like you learn from experience. And I don't think that's necessarily true. Like, yes, experience, like if you have a mindset, an open mindset to feel like to go learn, you can learn from anything. But if you're not provide of that space to be able to release, engage, and learn, you're never going to grasp anything because you have no practice. Everything comes with practice, like every single thing, right? Our breathing, our way of speaking, it's all like process that we had all these years. Even and even we think it's the most simplest things are the hardest things because we're not provided that in our everyday today, because it's not beneficial to whatever beyond us after we graduate or something. And I don't know if that's something, a household thing, a school thing, that's a totally different, I think, topic. But I think there's a certain point, I think, in age that that person is responsible to recognize what change they need with themselves. Whether they like know what that change is, I don't think anyone knows what that change is. It's like, it's that effort to look into what that change is, to make that effort to see what that change is within themselves. Like, I don't know where I'm at, but I need to start somewhere. It's like, at this point, we have so many info and provide of so many ways to go seek reflection time for yourself, which you can call that of, counseling or therapy. But I personally believe, like, just in general, to look into, like, meaning just go journal or go dancing or write a poem or release, just like a way of release thing is something that I think we all have. I don't think it's just a one-way thing. Even the most extroverted people, they need something back in return to feel energetic, which is another person. But if the another person is totally out of it and not engaged in it, they don't feel loved or reciprocated. Which, like, it might be that, if they have someone just to talk to and just have someone be a space holder, that's enough for them. So the list goes on and on and on and on. But I, again, wanted to just make sure I record this myself because, Yuki, your body has made its huge progress. And I know now it's like 20 something minutes, but I know like a bit ago in the past week, month, your body feels tapped out more. Please don't be hard on it because it's trying to function every day, and as long as you're breathing, it's healing. You have gone through so much that you thought you couldn't get out of bed in so many days, emotionally, physically, and mentally. You weren't able to get out of bed. And look at you now. Even though you might not be able to go on a run right away and you're out of breath a lot of ways, and you are very out of shape, but out of shape to who, right? For you, you feel out of shape because you want to keep going in your specific ways. And I hope that with your stubborn personality, girl, um, be gentle, be kind to yourself and your mind. And I know you have been more speaking in affirmations for yourself, and it really shows. And no matter how many people don't see that, as long as you see that, that's plenty. Nothing's more powerful to feel your own power. No one else can feel other people. People have been feeling other people's power all the time. But you feeling your own power, you barely feel that. And I hope you can feel that way. Even though right now I'm talking in, I guess, second person, third person view. But and I know that I don't fully believe it sometimes, but I know deep down I do, that I can do this, and I'm very proud of myself. I can tell that I'm not fully believing that yet, but like, man, the more I reflect, I'm like, because I guess I belittle my experiences a lot, and I shouldn't belittle them because I'm still here. And it's not a winner or loser game. Like, once you're gone, it's all problem solved. And you try to do that multiple times, and you still here, and who knows, like, this might be a different universe. But just be comfortable with yourself and know that there is going to be that people are not going to agree with you and feel ganged up on you and judging you even though they don't know you. And but I hope you know that if you know yourself, nothing's going to hurt you. You might feel, ooh, that ouch, a little hurt, but you're not going to be taking it personally because it's nothing personal to you. It's only personal to you if you make it personal to you. You can learn from it, but you don't have to hold it. You can read it, but you don't have to dig into it. If it doesn't write to you, it doesn't write to you, and you know what that means for you. It's just a habit to question with doubt, because that was a narrative that you thought of yourself a very long time. But you're here to unlock that habit. So I know you've been replacing it with like, I believe you, I believe in me. When I look in the mirror, I actually say you, because I feel like I've been spoken to myself. When I don't have any reflection around me, which again, I wasn't able to see any mirrors until like 2 years ago, 2021 is when it started. And it's really hard, and still right now it's really hard because I still criticize my own face, and or who am I to show my face, or I can't look at my video or picture for too long because I started to criticize. But it's a habit. It's completely a habit. So, but again, I really don't know who always watches these things, but whoever that's for future me or anyone, I'm just very grateful you're here. And I'm very grateful that this space is so peaceful. If I wasn't in this peaceful situation, I would not be able to talk like this or record myself like this. And it comes in waves. And I hope you know that I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. Not in a way I'm proud of you, like very proud of you. So Thank you to your body for holding up every day, helping you breathe, think, feel, live. Just thank you for being here. You made it. You truly made it. You made it today. And I hope you make it tomorrow. If you get to decide, I hope you stay and live the way however you like to be. Even though I know it's a lot of adjustments, but I hope you enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. I'm trying to enjoy the process. I am enjoying the process. So, thank you so much for letting me this opportunity to have this space. Yeah. Thank you for being you. I love you. Bye.